Now, when it comes to poaching eggs, a lot of people are worried, but there are 3 simple rules to focus on. Number 1, really fresh eggs. So I've got some free-range eggs here, okay? And number 2, I use a pan of water instead of a pot. I think there's a lot more control in this. So we bring that up to the boil. I've got some white vinegar here, and that's really important when poaching eggs because it's going to ensure the egg holds its shape the whole time, okay? So a little bit of vinegar in there, bring that to the boil. And I've got a little ramekin here. So what I like to do is simply crack the egg nice and gentle so it doesn't break. And once you see those little bubbles coming up, all I do is simply slide it in, with confidence, of course. You can see it's holding its shape there, okay? So again, like I said, fresh eggs will make poaching eggs so much easier. And this should take about 2 or 3 minutes, depending on how you like eggs. I like them nice and runny inside, so about 3 minutes. Right, so these eggs are ready, and I know they're ready when you just give them a quick touch and it just springs back gently. I can actually feel that the yolk is still going to be nice and runny, okay? So next step, we have to drain them, and I use a little cloth, okay? You can use paper toweling, but sometimes I think you get a little bit of the taste of the paper. I know it sounds silly, but you do. So this is a better way to absorb the eggs, especially if you're making quite a lot of them, okay? So we're just going to drain them off, straight out of the water, okay? There we go. So I've got a big platter here. We have our brioche, okay? So I've got a bread knife here, and what I like to do is just cut them in half. And brioche, one of those things where you can get from your local baker, so just ask them ahead of time if you want them, or a lot of patisseries make them. So you can see inside, they're nice and fluffy, okay? And I think this goes nicely with this dish because they are so light, okay? And just have a slight sweetness, which goes really nicely with that pesto. So cut them in half. Okay, maybe one more. Just a plate. If you like, with a pesto, you can make a really big batch of it, and I recommend freezing it, and in that way, it stays nice and vibrant green instead of just keeping it in the fridge. If you leave it in the fridge for too long, more than 2 days, it will go a little bit grey, so that vibrant green colour won't stay. So we'll pop a good dollop on each plate. Then, just delicately, we place our little poached eggs on top, and one more. Okay, and then I've got some smoked salmon here. So if you like, you can just leave this off, but I really think this is just a nice little touch to this dish. Straight on top, like so. There we have it. I'm going to place a little hat back on. So there we have it, a nice little breakfast or brunch. Try brioche in a savoury way, and I'll tell you what, when you break into that egg's going to be nice and gooey, mixed with that pesto. That is a legendary breakfast.